What's up, everyone? This is Don Juan III, and today I got an exciting matchup for you all. Could the Big O run the Pacific Rim Kaiju Gauntlet? But first, like, subscribe. Also, look at the coffee shop members down in the description below. Definitely give them a check out. But with no further ado, let's begin the matchup. All right, starting with the Kaijus. In the Pacific Rim world, all right, and they're an extra dimensional beings that want to come to our realm and take over the world and make it their own. So their best way of doing that is creating huge giant monsters to take out mankind's population. The kaiju I'll be using are from the first movie and the mega kaiju from the second movie. That would be Trespasser, Knifehead, Morvo, Leatherback, Otachi, Scuther, Raiju, and Slater. Now, all these kaiju are over 250 feet tall, the smallest one being Okachi, which is 207 feet tall, to Slater being over 596 feet tall, which is bigger than Godzilla. Their weights are anywhere between 2,700 tons and 6,700 tons. Now, for these kaiju to actually come through the rift, they have to actually fight one another. So the best kaiju are the only ones that go through the rift. So the first kaiju that actually attacked in Pacific Rim is Trespasser. Then Knifehead, then Morvo and Leatherback, Otachi, and so on and so forth. Some of their feats, Leatherback has a EMP attack, which is able to disrupt any technology. Of course, it's an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, so it disrupts all types of digital technology. Also, Otachi is able to fly and has acid that's able to melt skyscrapers and even shown to melt like super thick armor from Chernobyl Alpha. Also, Leatherback and Otachi are one of the only kaijus to first show like teamwork. Also, the Mega Kaiju has a is able to redirect kinetic energy. So, like any type of kinetic energy blast is able to redirect. It was able to take out 5 or 6 Mark 6 Jaegers fairly easily, and it took Gypsy Avenger to drop from space, literally from low orbit, to be able to kill the Mega Kaiju. Now, for their opponent, the Big O, a little bit of backstory on Big O. It all starts with Roger Smith being in Paradigm City, and there was an event 40 years before that everyone lost their memories. And Roger Smith is a negotiator in Paradigm City, and if there's any crime or any type of to solve, he summons his mega deuce called the Big O. Now, unfortunately for Big O, in comparison to Pacific Rim, Pacific Rim has a lot of information on it. You can get heights, weights, dates, times of different battles. Big O, on the other hand, there's very little information when it comes to actual like size and weight. So I had to do a few calculations of myself to be able to make this match happen. Now, from the guidebooks, Big O is about 130 to 150 feet tall and weighs roughly 7,000 tons. Now, you're probably wondering, like, Don, like, what are you talking about? Like, the kaiju have hundreds of feet on Big O. How is he going to even be able to stand a chance? Well, from what a lot of people don't realize, even though Big O is slow, quote unquote, a Big O is actually movement speed is directly related to Roger Smith's reaction time. Roger Smith has been shown to actually dodge lasers, which would make him FTL. Also, Big O is covered in extremely heavy plate armor, which is reflecting it's built for heavy combat and hand to hand. Also, some of the weapons of Big O are what's called an arc line, which is pretty much just eye lasers. Uh, the Chrome Buster, which is concentrated energy beam, which can last, have a large duration, over several minutes. The O Thunder, which is a Gatling gun laser in his fist. Plasma Gimmick, which is a static shield generator, which is able to, almost like an explosion wave from Dragon Ball Z, it pushes out and pushes everything away and obliterates everything within a certain range. He also has what's called the Sudden Impact, which is two piston arms, and these piston arms are able to stop a asteroid falling from space in mid-flight, no problem, and receives very little damage. Also, he has hip anchors, which is 2 rows of 8 anchors, and these can be used for offense or defense. He's able to pull himself out of danger, which has been shown to literally been able to pull away from a point-blank nuclear blast and been unharmed. Also, he's able to shoot these hip anchors into enemies and impale them and drag them closer. His final attack, which is called Final Stage appropriately, is a massive energy cannon and was able to destroy the biggest dome in Paradigm City. Now, to be able to scale the size of the blast, it's stated in the Big O reference guide that Paradigm City is actually based off of New York City or Manhattan Island. So being able to calculate the size of Manhattan Island, which is 23 miles long and 3 miles wide at its widest, I was able to calculate the dome's size, which is roughly 2 miles in width and diameter, which would make it roughly 2 miles tall as well. And Big O's final stage was able to completely obliterate the dome and keep on going through that. So that is at least large island level, if not, well, let me rephrase that, sorry. Large city level. Since we got Big O's stats out of the way, where do I see this going? If we use the narrative of one kaiju at a time, how would Big O fare? The advantages that the kaiju have are their size and lifting strength. And the advantages between Big O are the weapons and AP. Now, the real problem with this battle is specifically stated at the beginning of the first movie, where Trespasser was killed with jets, planes, and missiles. Even though in the comics it's directly stated that he was destroyed by 3 nuclear blasts. But if that is true, then how did Morvor, which is a Category 4, get boloed by Striker Eureka with only 6 missiles and 2 uppercuts? Like, the durability for kaijus is very questionable. I would almost call them glass cannons. When it comes to Trespasser, Big O has absolutely no problem one-shot Trespasser with either a sudden impact or a chrome buster, due to the fact that sudden impact was able to destroy an asteroid, and that scales well above a nuclear weapon. Knifehead was destroyed with 4 plasma casters from Gypsy Danger. That's I could see him get one-shotted from a Chrome Buster, Eye Gimmick, O Thunder, anything of that nature. Even though the size difference, it just doesn't matter. Like even when you get up to like the higher categories, like a Category 5, like Slayer, I mean, it was injured by a nuclear blast and then killed by Gypsy Danger with the nuclear reactor, like firing up and destroying it from the chest reactor. But still, Big O's AP just scales well above anything that's been shown to come close in Pacific Rim. The Mega Kaiju was killed from Gypsy Avenger falling from it from low orbit, which is only 250 miles, and space shuttles come in at 17,000 miles an hour, give or take. Asteroids come into the atmosphere at 38,000 miles an hour. And Big O was able to stop an asteroid with one punch. And the Mega Kaiju was literally one-shotted from an asteroid in space. So, in conclusion, I believe the Big O runs the Pacific Rim Kaiju Gauntlet. If you like this type of video and you want to hear more, definitely like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.